Hey, welcome back to Crimes and Closets. This is Christy in my closet in St. Louis.
And this is Beth in my closet in North Carolina.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yay. We are almost in March. Spring is coming. Yeah.
Thank the Lord. I need some warm weather to kill off these daggone germs.
Yeah, you do.
My house is we have not been well.
Yeah, I know.
For a full week in 2024 yet. And I got it this time, and that means it's real.
Yeah, seriously. That's true. I didn't even think about it that you've been battling. Somebody's been battling something in your house.
Round robin over here with we've had it all. We've had strep, flu A, flu B, COVID.
Oh, gosh.
All of it.
Well, here's to a healthy spring and summer.
Yes. Cheers to that.
Okay.
Cheers to my honey ginger tea.
Yes.
That I'm medicinally using right now.
Oh gosh. Well, I do hope you feel better. So
thank you.
Maybe I can make you laugh a little bit.
Oh, good.
Hopefully I make somebody laugh, but I'm sure someone's going to be like, something's wrong with you. Anyway,
Uh-oh.
I go to the gym 2 days a week now with my middle son because it was something that he needed at this point in life. And so I agreed. And if for anybody that may truly know me, they know I hate gyms, but I'm making the sacrifice because that's what good moms do. And, I try and be one of those every now and then.
Yep. So, two days a week.
Yeah. So, anyway, we go first thing in the morning at 5:45.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Sorry if there's banging. I am getting a new door put in today. But anyways, so I typically he is really into putting more weight on and doing bench pressing and blah, blah. And I'll do some of that because I'm well, that's what we're doing. But I don't need to be get lifting heavy, right?
You're not trying to bulk up.
I am not trying to bulk up. I'm glad that I'm doing some sort of weights, period. But it's fine. So anyway, typically my threshold is I lift it up and I'm okay, nah, not going to do that. Well, today my threshold was we were doing squats.
Okay.
And for some reason, I'm seriously gassy these last couple of days.
Oh, no.
And so I'm doing the squats. And I was doing well today. I actually got up quite a bit higher than I normally do in weights. I don't know, maybe I was just feeling good or whatever. But I had to stop. My threshold was when I felt like something might come out my tush.
Oh my gosh.
And it be really loud. I was nope, okay, let's put that one down now.
Take them back, buddy. Take them back.
So I'm squatting and basically pushing the air out.
Oh my gosh, that's impossible. You have some strength.
Oh my gosh, I literally. Well, yeah, I was oh, there it is. Got to go. Let's go. Back up. Put it on the rack. I'm done. Because all I could imagine was and of course today it was packed. Normally there's
of course
the same 3 people. To this morning it's packed, and all I could imagine is it was just going to come out and it was going to be a trumpet, and I wasn't going to be able to
trumpet
face anybody in the gym anymore.
You know that happens though, right?
Oh, I know. I'm sure it does. And it's,
oh my gosh, I would love to hear trainers' stories of that kind of stuff, because you know how they stretch people and they'll be laying on the ground and they'll one leg up and they stretch. That happens.
Well, there's a viral video that went on. I feel I've seen it on Instagram where that's what the guy's doing. He's pushing back and she lets one rip and the guy starts laughing and she's oh my gosh. So anyway.
You just lost a customer. Bye.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, so there was that moment. And then there was, people, I'm just being real with you right now. This is where I am in life. And I was on the treadmill because I do 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how much longer he wants to do weights. And I'm running on the treadmill. And I had to clear my throat. I just had this weird feeling in my throat, a bubble or whatever. And I couldn't get it out. And so I was trying not to just be make a really loud noise. So I was just carefully clearing my throat. Yeah, well, not so carefully because I peed a little. Not from running. I mean, maybe running was helping that along, but it wasn't from running. Like, I was just like, and I'm like, oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
Worst gym day ever, guys.
I was going to say, and all this happened in one day?
Yep, one day. It's not happened
What
before.
did you do? You just like stopped running immediately?
No,
and you were
I
like,
kept going because what else was I going to do? I didn't have to go to the bathroom.
Oh my gosh, I'm dead.
Yeah, I just kept running. And then he came out, my son came out, and then I was like, okay, let's turn the treadmill off and I walked away. Went home.
Yeah. Hashtag this is your 40s. If you're not in your 40s, welcome. This is what you have to look forward to. We're scaring everybody.
I know. And you know,
there are two types of people listening to us right now. There are people listening to us going, yes, 100% totally has happened to me. And then there's other people like, oh my gosh.
Ew.
Yeah. They're just like terrified to get old now.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because like I've always heard that like, you know, after you birth a baby, I'm like, I've never birthed a baby before. Like it just happens. Like as you get older, that stuff just happens. And I know that it's not supposed to be normal because I do have a friend. Well, it was a friend in an elementary school that I still am like friends with on Facebook and Instagram who is a pelvic floor specialist.
Yeah.
And she constantly posts about how this is not normal, ladies. There is help. And I'm like, man, I wish I lived in Pennsylvania. I'd get your help. Because, you know, I can't find one of those doctors here.
Why?
No, I'm just kidding. You can't.
Gotcha.
But I only ever think of it when I see her post and I'm like, it's not normal. Let's fix it. But where?
And also like to have that appointment on the books would just be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like I just want to write her on Instagram and be like, can you just help me over Instagram?
Yeah.
Send me a video.
Can you virtually coach my pelvic floor, please?
Oh gosh. Anyway, so there you go. There was my morning. Keeping it real as always.
You are so real. I love it. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I mean, if you haven't had enough of us already, I do have a crime unless there's any other news that you need to give.
There's no news. You peed your pants today. Okay. That's all the news.
Yeah, please don't make me laugh anymore.
All right.
All right. We'll keep it on with the crime. Here we go. This case was suggested by our friend Steven over on Instagram.
Hi, Steven.
Hi. I think he's recommended one other one. I feel like a while ago, and then I couldn't like message him because we weren't able to message back and forth. But anyway, anyways, he recommended this one. It's an interesting story and has quite the twist to it. You know how I've been talking for like ever, I feel like years. I actually still have the tab on my bookmarks about doing like the dangers of the internet and social media for kids.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so this is like along those lines, not exactly what I was thinking of. So I'll likely still get to that one day. Like I said, it's still my bookmark. So, but we just have so many suggestions that I never do get to. Mm-hmm. So, okay. This is the murder of Brian Barrett.
Okay. Never heard
Brian,
of it.
You haven't? I haven't either. Think so. And I'm actually surprised because it's such a weird case. But anyway, Brian was born to Dan and Deb Barrett on February 1st, 1984, which interestingly enough, this is dropping in February. So he would have turned 40 this year.
Oh, happy 40th, Brian.
Yes. He had two brothers, Daniel and Richard. He lived in Lockport, New York with his parents. Lockport is a town way north in New York, like close to Niagara Falls.
Okay.
Brian attended Starpoint High School where he excelled in baseball. After he graduated, he got a job at Dynabrade Factory, which made power tools.
Okay.
Well, I've never heard of them. He worked there to help get money to pay for college. So then he started attending Buffalo State College, which I don't know when, if he started like right away or like waited a couple of years, but at the time that this all happened, he was still in college. And he was an aspiring teacher. Although Brian is the victim in this story, he doesn't really enter the picture for a little bit. So I just wanted to make sure that I was like, I'm going to highlight him because he's not going to be mentioned for a little bit. So
I'm intrigued.
At the factory, Brian had befriended an older gentleman named Thomas Montgomery. Thomas is a 46-year-old man who's married to Cindy Montgomery, and they have two teenage daughters. He worked as a machinist at the factory and was a good father and husband for 17 years. He was a teacher in Sunday school at church, president of his daughter's swim club, you know, the all-American dad.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas and Cindy were going through a little bit of a rough patch as Tom had become impotent. He was embarrassed and didn't really feel like talking to Cindy about it, and it was really kind of getting to him. Probably the one person that he should have been talking to, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So they were not communicating as well as they had in the past. And Tom had also had a hobby of playing games on Pogo.com. I'm not sure if you remember that.
My gosh. That's a blast from the past. What time frame are we in here?
Well, let's see, 90s, I think. No,
okay.
2006, sorry, 2000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I actually looked, Pogo.com is still a thing. It's like up and thriving, like it's like legit still there. So I don't know who uses it, but it's still there. So anyway, it's basically like, for those who don't know, because I know there's some youngins out there that don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's got a huge menu of games you can play, from like simple games to like poker to whatever. And you can like chat and talk with people when you're playing, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, Tom liked to go on there and play poker among other games and chat. He would chat with, you know, friends that he was playing with at the time. His screen name was Marine Sniper. He would tell people that he'd always wanted to be a Marine, and that he had trained to be he wasn't a sniper, but he was a sharpshooter, I think. Anyway, he was in the military, but never became a sniper. He was known to chat with friends, like I said, on there as he was playing. In May of 2005, he started chatting with screen name Tall Hot Blonde.
Mm-hmm.
Early on, she said she was an 18-year-old from the small town in West Virginia.
Oh.
I don't think she revealed right away where it was, but it's Oak Hill. Have you ever heard of Oak Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's very small.
I looked at a map, and it's not like near where like on the map, it doesn't look like it's very close. But anyway, Jessie was a high school senior who played softball. They chatted pretty innocently, like, you know, through a game, like, hey, how's it going? Whatever, blah, blah, blah at first. And then they would share real names, etc. Tom said his name was Tommy, and he told her that he was also an 18-year-old male. He was a Marine who was Iraq bound. He would say that he was training and we would be shipped off eventually. He described himself as 6 foot and muscular, not even close to muscular. They would eventually exchange pictures, and Jessie would prove to be this beautiful, athletic blonde. Tom decided that he was going to send a picture, but it would be from 30 years ago of himself. So it was a picture of himself, but it was of him in his military uniform from 30 years earlier.
Okay.
Which at first I was like, how do you not know this picture is like old? But it didn't really look that old. When I saw it on like TV, I'm like, okay, it didn't look like it was super old to me. So, it looked like a military picture.
And do we know for sure that Jessie is who she says she is? Like, she really is this 18-year-old?
Well, I mean, like, no, not for sure,
Okay.
Right now, at this point, no.
Okay.
I mean, just who she says she is. Okay. So, all right. So anyway, Tom said that he told her he was 18 because he had seen on TV all the internet stings that were happening to people who were like chatting with young, you know, who was that guy that used to do all the internet schemes and then like sting them? They'd get them to come meet the girl and then they'd be like, you're meeting an underage girl. Remember that guy on TV?
Oh, yeah. The MTV guy?
No, he was a total like news. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Oh, but I don't know. I remember the catfish guy on MTV.
I can't remember this guy's name. Anyways, it wasn't Storm Phillips. I don't know. But anyway. Okay. All right. This is where I will say, if he intended to only chat innocently while playing a game, then why would you get in trouble for chatting? You know, like if you're just playing a game and you're like, hey, nice move. Like, you don't have to pretend to be an 18-year-old. You can chat with an 18-year-old like that. So, right. Where was your mind going? Well, things progressively started to change into a more romantic relationship. And it would also turn into virtual sexting at 1.2. Yeah. The things they wrote to each other actually make me cringe because I'm like envisioning this 45-year-old and this 18-year-old,
Oh, yeah.
you know, like, and they would also call each other at times and send each other love letters. Jessie would also send little packages here and there to Tommy. At one point, she sent like, I think it was like, it says it was a chain that had Jessie and Tommy forever. But I also read somewhere that it was like personalized dog tags. So I don't know if that's what that was written on. But anyway,
okay.
Among other things like panties and stuff like that. Tommy at one point said he was going off to Paris Island, South Carolina for training, which I don't know if you know, but it's like a Marine recruiting center. I think still to this day. And it was made famous by some movie like I can't remember the movie, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
During this time, he said he was away, or during the time that he said he was away, quote unquote away, because he wasn't, Tommy's dad would talk to Jessie on this thing. Because apparently this was also Tommy's dad's account, and he was just using it to play games, but whatever. So Tommy's dad.
Fake Tommy's dad. Okay,
yes,
got it.
Tommy's
I thought you were saying. Okay. I'm like, wait,
no.
There's a dad's now? Okay,
well, because he was not actually away, quote unquote
I
away. So then it was kind of his way because he would like say, like, stop talking to him, leave him alone, like he's going to be sent away. So it was kind of like his way of trying to like break things off because he did have guilt about it because he was married and he had kids and whatever. So this was kind of his way of trying to break things off. So anyway. But then when he returned from, quote unquote, returned from training, he did start chatting with her again as Tommy.
All right.
So confusing. And apparently had asked her if she would marry him when he returned from Iraq. So,
okay.
This guy's just digging. He's digging the hole.
Oh, Tommy.
So Tom would go back and forth trying to stop talking to her and then talking to her again. And then it would just kind of become this pattern. Like he felt guilty, but then he couldn't stop, blah, blah, blah. So Tom wrote a letter to himself at one point and he kept it hidden at work. And in this letter, it says, on January 2nd, 2006, Tom Montgomery, age 46, ceases to exist and is replaced by 18-year-old battle-scarred Marine. He is moving to West Virginia to be with the love of his life. What? Pretty sure at this point is where he starts to sound delusional.
I was gonna say, I think we've come off our hinges.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so then Jessie at some point sends him another package. I don't know what's in it. I can't remember. I think it may have been the underwear, but whatever. But Cindy, Tom's wife, intercepts it. Not like, I don't think purposely. I think she probably was just like opening packages in the mail and like finds this. So anyway, so she said that she was a bit suspicious about it. And so then this was just like proof. He'd shut the computer or like, click the X when she'd come over to like kiss him goodnight or whatever. So she proceeded to write a letter to Jessie and send it. And along with that letter sent a picture of their family in it. And she stated, clearly, Tom is not 18. He's 46 and he's married with 2 children. He's fooled you and you should be more careful with who you chat with online and protect yourself. So she was actually being like very nice to her. I mean, I'd be like,
it's not your fault. You've been, she's saying like, it's not your fault. You've been lied to.
Right. Be careful. Like, anyway. Okay. So anyway, I believe they took a few weeks off chatting because she was kind of like upset. Like, why did you do this? I don't understand, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, but then she started contacting him again. They did chat about why he did it and that he didn't mean to hurt her, blah, 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 blah. And so then they were just like, we'll start over as like chatting as friends on the game.
Okay.
But in the meantime, Jessie was a little bit pissed still and had remembered the name of a friend from work that Tommy had mentioned. Enter Brian. I believe that they had all played games like in and chatted within like whatever thing before. And so she knew that they were like friends and they had worked. They had gotten that out of the way. Anyway.
And Brian is like 20? How old?
He's 22 at this point.
But like, why is this 40-some-year-old man connecting with these very young people?
Well, I think at first it was like, I mean, I don't really know how close Brian and Tommy were.
Okay.
Tom. I keep calling him Tommy, but that was his like 18-year-old name. I don't really know that they were like close, but they were coworkers. So they chatted, and I don't know that they were actually like friends,
Okay.
but you know, people are like, oh yeah, my friend Tom, you know, whatever. Anyway. Okay. So Jesse remembers his screen name, Brian's screen name, and which was Beefcake.
Okay.
I love these screen names. And so she was like, all right, I'm going to, you know, reach out to Beefcake here. And so she was really kind of doing it though to make Tommy mad. Like, let me talk to this younger coworker of his and see if it can like make him mad. Like, anyway.
Oh my. Okay.
So Jesse, tall, hot blonde, and Brian, Beefcake, started a relationship not long after that because they started chatting, which is, I mean, it became more romantic, blah, 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 blah. Which honestly, like, kind of makes more sense because, like, Brian's 22, she's 18. You know, like, that's a little bit closer in age than 40. But she didn't know at the time that he was 47. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. Jesse and Brian would kind of taunt him online, like, through their chats and, like, flaunt their relationship. And also, Brian outed him at work and like told people at work what he had done online, which is probably not the best way to handle it, but he's young, like whatever. He probably thinks it's weird that some 40-something-year-old guy had been in a relationship with somebody really younger. So anyway. Okay.
It is weird.
Well, it is. And so, but he didn't have to out him. But again, young, immature, like just stupid mistake, whatever. So Jessie would go back and forth kind of between the two men. She was not hiding the fact that she was talking to the both of them, but she was kind of playing them, I think. Tom would just get angry about it. They would fight and then they would not talk and then they start talking again. So it became that pattern of back and forth. Like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'll talk to you. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Brian then at one point mentions that he is planning to go and drive to see Jessie in West Virginia for a weekend. He was going to take a road trip. They had plans to be intimate, and he was kind of like bragging about this, which infuriated Tom. The weekend trip ended up not happening because apparently Jessie got mad at Brian saying he was only interested in sex, and they fought about that, and they kind of stopped talking for a little bit, and that weekend trip got canceled. So after this, Jessie then turns to Tommy again, starting off at friends, but then becoming sexting again. Jessie then starts flirting with other guys online.
Okay. And I just want to say, I have a problem with Jessie now.
Okay.
Because she knows he's married.
Well,
she knows he has kids. Like, okay with your games, but like breaking up someone's family ain't a game. No,
it's not. No. Oh, and the whole time that's what I'm thinking, like reading all this. I'm like, oh my gosh, come on, stop. Like, leave him alone. Like, anyway. Right. But I'm also thinking like 18-year-old, also immature mind, not thinking of other people, only thinking self, you know, whatever. But anyways, I don't know. But yes, I agree with you 100%. Okay. So she starts flirting with other guys in the online gaming chats, which then makes Tommy mad again. She's totally like mind blanking him.
Yeah.
He starts threatening her, saying things like he's going to go to West Virginia and hurt her or then hurt her mother. He was saying such awful things that I don't even want to repeat some of them on here because they were actually racist, the things that he was saying.
Oh, no.
Yeah. After this, when Tom tried to talk to Jessie, she said that her mom wanted to talk to him. Like, my mom wants to talk to you right now, blah, blah, blah. So mom gets on. She informs Tom that he needs to stay away from her daughter and stop trying to contact her, blah, blah, blah. Tom's like, well, then can you ask her to do the same? Because she'll eventually reach out to me and then I start talking to her again. So can we have this like reciprocal agreement that neither one of us will contact her? Mom's like, fine.
Okay, fair.
Okay. So for a few weeks, neither talked to each other. But then all of a sudden, Jessie messages Tom. Tom's like, hey, you're not supposed to contact me. She's like, my mom will never know, blah, 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 blah. So they start ultimately talking again because this is an addiction for him at this point, and things then get sexual again. So, unbeknownst to Tom, Jesse also had started talking to Brian again. So, I know. Aren't you just annoyed by it?
I am. I like somebody needs to give me her Pogo account or something. Like
Tall hot blonde.
Tall hot blonde.
Only one L in the tall.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so anyway, Tom finds out because one day he saw Brian's name on Jesse's MySpace page. I love when MySpace makes
MySpace. Oh yes, she was in his top, or he was in her top 8 or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, my God.
Oh, Emery and I always joke about MySpace. Like, we'll take like a weird like close-up picture and we'll be like MySpace because like people took like really weird selfies.
Dude, we both still have MySpaces floating around there somewhere.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had one. I never like canceled it. I'd love to be able to log back in.
Same. Oh man,
I'm gonna look after this. I'll let you know.
Look for me.
Okay. All right. So Tom is infuriated. He starts threatening Jesse again, saying again, really, really awful things. And he said that she's done what he feared. She's turned his heart ice cold. And he said, Brian will pay in blood was one of his things.
Oh no.
On September 17th, 2006, Brian was working a shift at the factory. He was walking to his car in the back parking lot after he got off at 10 p.m. And as he got into his car, someone walked up to the car and shot him 3 times in the shoulder and the neck. He was not found for 2 days because it was stated that he had no plans that weekend. So nobody was really like looking for him or was wondering where he was because he didn't have like plans with this friend and he didn't show up or whatever. And I'm not entirely clear why his parents weren't worried since he was living at home, except that he was an adult and maybe he was known to like just go off for the weekend and be like, I'm hanging out with people, So anyway, a coworker would find him in his car in the parking lot with 3 gunshot holes in the window. Brian slumped over with a gunshot wound in his arm and a large hole in his neck. So I don't know if one of those, like both those shots kind of went in the same spot. He was shot with a .30 caliber rifle at close range.
Yeesh.
At first, police do not like have any leads as to who would want to hurt Brian, no less kill him. And because everyone loved him, like everyone described him as always having a smile on his face and just friendly and just awesome. So I believe what happened was coworkers, as they were talking to his coworkers, led them to talk to Tommy because they knew all of the conflicts over Jesse at this time. So in talking with them, they're like, well, now we're worried about Jesse because it says that they couldn't find Tom at first. And I don't know like what that means because I don't think he fled or anything, but I guess they just didn't know where his whereabouts were. He wasn't at home and so they didn't know where he was. So then they're like, well, what if he has driven to West Virginia to hurt Jesse? So they start digging into online game chats and figure out who she was and find out that her name is Jessie Sheeler, who lives in Oak Hill, West Virginia. So they call the local police there and send them out to do a welfare check on her. So when they get there, Mary Sheeler answered the door and police ask her, like, where's your daughter? And she's like, she's not here. She doesn't actually live in this house. And I don't know where she is because I haven't talked to her today. And so she had said that she lived in Concord, which according to the map is like 3 hours away from Oak Hill. So police start like telling Mary, like, here's what's going on. And we just want to check in on your daughter and make sure that she's okay. And Mary just starts crying and then confesses.
Oh, it's Mary.
Mary was Jesse.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So she was pretending to be an 18-year-old girl as well and causing drama. And oh my gosh.
Mary.
Now Brian is dead, Mary.
Thank you. And Brian is the only one that was being real and telling the truth about stuff in this whole situation. He never said he was anybody else but who he was. Okay, so Mary had been the one chatting with Tom and Brian on the gaming site. She was pretending to be her 18-year-old daughter, Jessie.
Oh, so she really did have a Jessie.
Oh, yeah. Jessie exists. She's real. And all the pictures that she sent were of real Jessie.
Ew.
Yeah.
No, bad Mary.
Yeah. Expecting to come out of your mouth. Sorry. Okay.
Not okay.
All right. Mary was a 45-year-old wife and mother herself. Tom had also written her a message saying, your boyfriend was easy to take care of. And like, she tried to like ask him, what would you do? Blah, blah, blah. I don't think he ever wrote exactly what he did to Mary because, I mean, clearly that would like incriminate him if he was like, I shot him with 3 times with a 30 caliber weapon. So police did bring Tom in for questioning, but he denied killing Brian, and police didn't really have much like true evidence to go on except for these conversations online and things that the coworkers were saying. So there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of their chats to sift through. Mm-hmm. But there were also a couple things at the scene. There was a peach pit right next to Brian's truck and a gun clipped that was left next to his truck. When they did DNA, it came back that the peach pit matched Tom. And the gun clip was also traced back to Tom. I don't know, like,
he was eating a peach.
I know, right?
What in just, like, the holy Lord is this man?
Yeah. So, okay. So anyway, I don't know if there's a serial number on the like gun clips too, because I don't know anything about guns. I'm assuming
probably,
maybe not. Anyway, so this was to an M1A1, and Tom had told people that if he were to ever to kill someone, he would use an M1A1.
What?
Right? I know.
Who says that?
I don't know. He denied ever having that caliber gun that was used, and so they checked his gun cabinet at the house, and there was no rifle that matched it, and they never did actually find the murder weapon. I don't know where it is. He's never said. But anyway, through their investigation and search warrants, they come across an old picture of Cindy, Tom's wife, from when they were living in Florida, like years and years before. And in that picture is the same gun cabinet. It's like a wooden gun cabinet with like black or glass, doors. And in that picture, you just want to like zoom in on the picture. You can see that gun, that exact gun in the cabinet. So he did own one at one point.
Yeah.
Okay. So police arrest Tom before he could go to trial, a trial that his daughters planned to testify they were with their dad at the time of the murder. Tom takes a plea deal instead.
All right.
He pled to first-degree manslaughter and was sentenced to 20 years in prison in August of 2007. He has tried to appeal this, saying he took the plea under duress because he was told if his daughter lied on the stands, they themselves would get in trouble. But all that was denied. He admitted under oath that he was not under duress and understood the terms of his plea deal. That's why they say those things in court, blah, blah, blah. So his earliest release date would be January 14th, 2024, which when we are recording, it's like 3 days from now. But when this drops in February, it was last month, but literally.
Okay.
But I have searched several months of parole board dockets and have not seen his name on it. So, and it's not like on next month's docket. So I don't think so. I don't think he's getting released, and then the latest date of his release would be November 26th, 2026. I'll just keep checking it now and then. But Cindy did divorce Tom after he was arrested.
Yeah, she did.
Now, just for a minute, let's chat about Mary. Mary's husband divorced her, and her daughter Jessie refuses to even speak to her to this day. Could you imagine doing that to your daughter?
No.
No. When police took her computer, they found hundreds of pictures of Jessie on there that she was using to send to men online, most of which you could tell Jessie was not even aware that they were taken of her. Also, she snapped a picture or a video, one of the other, underneath Jessie's skirt and sent that to several men saying, hey guys, you like this? Or do you like or whatever? Yeah, gross.
Mary is a predator.
Mm-hmm. When I saw a picture of Mary, she was wearing a Marshall shirt, which I thought that was kind of funny.
Snap. No way.
Yeah. She was refusing to talk to anybody about this, including her husband. But one thing she did say was that she was talking to Tom so that he would not go and actually talk to a teenager. No. Whatever. That's BS. She also states that she would like to write a book on the dangers of the internet. Not even look to see if she has, because I don't care.
She's going to write a book about herself? Like, I'm dangerous, and this is why you should. Okay.
Mary has never been charged because they say she didn't do anything wrong, because she didn't actually pull the trigger or tell Tom to kill Brian or harm him in any way. But she's complicit. Like, this is ridiculous. She knew how enraged Tom was. Brian's parents would like to see laws passed about this, but it's hard to cover them all under a single law. And it's mentioned a couple of times. This is a lot like a case in Missouri, which happened actually very close to here, where a mom posed as a teen boy online and told a girl that he was seeing that the world would be better without her. And that teen then later committed suicide. And that mom was convicted, but her conviction was overturned because it's like interpreting, like there is laws out there, but it's like for like cyber stuff, but it's like more like hacking into like government things, and it's not really about this kind of thing, but I've got to figure it out. So anyway, there you have it.
The Mary thing. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's bad enough that she was pretending to be an 18-year-old girl, but the fact that she actually was pretending to be her own daughter online and being inappropriate with men who knows if they were even whoever. I can't with her. I can't with you, Mary.
At least change the girl's name. I mean, don't do this. I'm not saying that. I'm not even like condoning any of it, but it's like she could have at least changed her name to something else so that like people couldn't connect her and actually find her. She could have gotten her own daughter killed.
For real.
Yeah, it's freaking nuts. So Mary's not my favorite person. Anyway, I watched this documentary on Amazon Prime. It's really not. I mean, it's fine. It gives you some information, but it's not a great documentary. It's called Tall Hot Blonde, spelled the way her screen name is. And Tom is just like, he talks about it like it's just like this is what happened. The way he talks, I'm like, you're weird. But
well, anyway. Yes. Poor Brian.
I know. Poor kid. Gosh. Only one actually being himself in this case is the one that gets killed.
That is some scary, scary stuff. Be careful out there, guys, on the pogo.
And this is why I want to do a whole thing of internet safety for kids and like how scary it can be out there. So
yes, because this is just like the tip of the iceberg, honestly.
Compared to what you can now get into now, like
that's what I was gonna say. That was like 2006. There are so many more avenues to fake who you are and find out where people are. I don't like it.
Yeah, me either.
So. Well, thanks for diving into that, Stephen. Thank you very much for bringing that to our attention. It is, we definitely need some laws put in place. I mean, like, I think, the whole Tinder swindler thing and all that kind of stuff that's come out now, it's like really on people's radar. And so hopefully it'll be on lawmakers' radar of how to fabricate new regulations and penalties.
I think they just said it's so hard to like encompass everything that is possible under an umbrella of, but so I don't know.
Yeah, because how can you foresee that like this would happen?
Right.
From a gaming site and then to put a law in place in case it does. Like you can't really, Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, interesting. We will definitely keep an eye on old Tommy there.
Yeah.
I wonder if they ever do make a law, if they'll go back for Mary.
Yeah. Because there's no limit on murder, right? What's that word that I'm looking for?
Statute of limitations.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think they could do murder though, but yeah, I don't know. Be interesting.
Accessory.
Yeah,
maybe?
Something.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well, thank you so much for diving into that. This is a really interesting case, and man, we've had some really interesting cases here lately. My mind's a little blown. It's nice to brain dump with you today.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. Happy Monday. We appreciate you all very much. If you like what you hear, we have a Patreon. There's some great, also wacky cases going on over there this year. 2024 is just the year of wacky so far. So we'll see what we come up with next. We hope you guys stick with us. Be careful, be safe, be honest, human beings, and always remember the world is scary. People suck. Hide in your closet.